Hey everybody, Martin Chuck here, and this tip is all about leveling up. We've got the hybrids and the fairway woods. So for you folks trying to break 100, oftentimes you're going to be pulling the head cover off a hybrid quite a bit for your second shots. And I want to show you some simple ways to monitor your development as a golfer. You can see on the ground here I have a channel on the ground. I've got a couple of aim sticks. I've got my target in the background down there. I've got a snack bar way off in the distance. It's probably pretty tough to see in the camera. But my point is, when you have a channel and you're using something like a hybrid, and hybrids can be anywhere from a 27 degree down to a 15 degree. Now most people's hybrid, I've got a 19 degree. I go from 4-iron to my hybrid, which is a 19 degree, kind of a strong, I call it a 3 hybrid. It's like a 5 wood as well. Or then I go 3 wood and then driver. Now, the slower your swing speed with a driver, the more hybrids you should have in the bag, because once you get really past a 7-iron, 6-iron, 5 4-irons, they're pretty much useless. Even tour players, very few carry a 2-iron anymore. And everybody did when I was a kid growing up. In fact, we carried 1-irons, crazy. But this is a simple channel drill for those of you breaking 100. And why do I have this channel down here? Because it's really a great way to illustrate if your swing cuts across too much or gets too shallow inside out. Let's hit a little shot down there and see if I can collect the ball out of this channel without hitting either stick. See how I do. And that's a pretty nice shot. And I actually got a leaf that was going through the channel at the same time. I've got a mind of steel. So obviously just joking, but you'll see that I didn't hit either stick. So I'm going to hit another one there. And let's talk about, for those of you breaking 100, what would cause too much of an event across the target line? I've got a nice equidistant relationship toe to stick. I'm not crossed up one way or the other, not open or closed. So let's hit another shot. Now you'll notice that I've got a fair margin. I've got an inch or so from the heel of the golf club and the toe of the golf club. I mean, let's face it, golf is hard. You don't want to give yourself that critical, that tight a margin. Let's hit another one. See if the circle of my swing can collect this golf ball for a reasonable shot out there with my hybrid. And a pretty nice shot. So for those of you struggling to break 100, if you find you're hitting shots, maybe the club's coming down and clanking the inside one because you got over the top. Or maybe you're getting a little bit inside out. Let's talk with over the top first. And then we'll move on to those of you breaking 90. I've got a great one for you. So breaking 100. If you find you're getting a little too steep and over the top, right, we want to feel like we can keep our back turned to the target just a little longer. And then go ahead and let your arms get down a little bit closer to the ground before rotation inspires the club head to rotate. So this kind of motion, if you're over the top, I know I'm asking you to be patient. Patience hard. But let's get organized over a golf ball. Turn your back to the target and feel like you can keep your back to the target a little longer as your arms drop. And that's going to help you from getting steep over the top and disrupting that stick after impact. Now, a lot of the golfers that come to the Tour Striker Golf Academy, okay, my golf school, we have a blast with a ton of folks. We get some decent golfers that are 7, 8, 9, 10 handicappers that have this look. They're too closed off. The club comes in too shallow. They kind of drop kick the ball out there. They don't really get nice spin on the ball. They don't hit it high enough. So and those folks are fine off a tee with a driver, but not a hybrid or a 3-wood. So what we want to feel, if you're struggling and you find you do this little exercise and you hit the inside stick on the way to the golf ball, I want you to go to the top, keep your arms up, and then initiate a bit of turn. Don't feel like you keep your back to the target like those folks that get over the top. Put your arms up, go ahead and initiate a turn, and then when you keep your arms up, the club's going to come down in the channel a little bit more effectively. Now let's talk about you folks trying to break 90. Let's look for a little bit more precision on the strike. So here's what I mean by that. We're going to take the channel, we're going to bring that channel in just a sliver, okay? And that's pretty close right there. You can set your hybrid in there, and you can see how, I've got maybe 1/4 of an inch now. And also, some of the thoughts on really striking the hybrids nicely. These golf clubs are sweepy clubs, meaning that we're going to sweep the ball off the ground, but we still have a fraction of downward attack angle. Now here's the thing for you guys breaking 90 and gals breaking 90 out there. I'm not trying to hit down. Every swing has plenty of down in it, In fact, with most swings, what I'm trying to do is take the down out and create a nice flat spot for my golf club to travel along the ground peacefully without thumping and taking a divot. In the breaking 100, you'll notice that I didn't really take any divots with my hybrid. So for you breaking 90, my challenge is narrow up the margin a little bit with the channel, okay? And then on the way down into the golf ball, realize that this is like a crash landing that saves itself in the last moments, because we want to mitigate all the down by having a push from the lead side as we rotate to get a nice flat spot that has a better, more reliable way of getting the golf ball nicely in the face. So as you keep using this channel, hitting your hybrid, and for those of you breaking 80, we're going to crush some 3-woods in a second, so stay tuned. But let's get organized here, and now the feeling is, let's take all this down out by pushing and rotating so we get a flat spot through that channel. And guess what? You'll get a little bonus speed from this. Let's hit a little shot and see how we do. And there's a nice strike that's headed toward my target. So now, for those of you trying to break 80, let's talk about it. You know, crushing 3-wood. 3-wood's a tricky club. It doesn't have much loft on it. And to hit a 3-wood nicely, you really have to have what I call the right relationship with the grass and the ball. So it can't be too steep out there, everybody. Cannot be too steep. You can't have something traveling down too fast, traveling down too aggressive. You're going to spin it too much. You can't be too shallow and up into the ball. You have to have this relationship. And that's why for breaking 90, I wanted to explain to you how a golf swing, you know, it's a bent over game where we're hip hinged, where our lead shoulder doesn't turn level on the backswing. It turns down under our chin. Then we have a bit more down to really help us get into the ground before we push hard, rotate, and accelerate this club past our hands. So I'm going to use the channel. I'm going to show you another trick here in just a second, but I want to add some speed here. So this is like the segue from 90 to 80. Let's go ahead and get that 3-wood in there. Same kind of thing, really managing the relationship of how we develop our swing into this channel here. Let's hit one. There's a nice strike down there. Now the bonus for you guys breaking 80, we can take this channel and we can offset this channel. So I'm going to push the outside stick forward. I'm going to draw the inside stick backwards. And what am I creating here? A nice channel to learn how to hit fades. Because now I don't want something going this way into the stick. I want something passing through to have a friction to hit a fade. So you folks on the way to breaking 80, you know what I'm talking about. A little bit of shot shaping is a fantastic option once in a while. We're going to organize ourselves. This club's going to pass through that channel a little bit to the left. Same feels as breaking 190, and let's curve one breaking 80. And there's a lovely little shot shape into a fade. Now, let's do the opposite. Take the inside stick, drag it across, and put that ahead of the outside stick. Keep them parallel. Now you have a great relationship and visual for hitting a draw. So when I look down there, it just kind of beckons for a club to have a bit more friction inside out. I don't want to come across and hit this stick on the inside. I've got that welcoming gate that I've created. Let's go into there, maybe move the ball back a teeny bit so I can welcome a little bit more of an inside out strike. Again, this is a nice relationship to the ground. Let's hit a little push draw out there. And there's a lovely strike. So, golfers out there, whether you're breaking 100, 90, or 80, here's some secrets with the clubs that have head covers on them that you have to hit off the grass. Martin Chuck signing off, and don't forget, tons of great content on GolfPass, and be sure to check out my Breaking 90 series. I know it says Breaking 90, but for you golfers that feel a little bit better than that, there's tons of goodies in there for you, so check it out. Thanks for watching.
Swing from home 7 days a week with personalized lessons just for you and your favorite shows on the GolfPass app or golfpass.com. And don't miss more daily lessons on the GolfPass Instagram and Facebook pages. Swing from home with GolfPass.